What's up, SEC fans? What is up, Georgia fans? We're bringing it to you live from the Volunteer Roadshow studios at the Pilot Truck Stop in Crossville, Tennessee. This is Catfish, and we've got a special show in store for y'all today. We've got a special guest, a very, very, very happy Georgia fan, Perfection Valley. How are you doing there, Perfection?
I am doing good, and my wife's doing good, too. I think Clemson just scored their first touchdown.
Tell everybody why she's happy.
Man, she's kind of worried about Miami, but she is a huge Clemson fan. I ain't heard the end of it since last year.
You do realize that there's a very, very good chance that Georgia and Clemson could face off in the playoffs. What kind of chaos would that be in your home?
I am ready to sleep on the couch.
Well, let's get into the game and your game day and how you were feeling today before the game and what your feelings were leading up to the game. And was there anything special you planned? Was there a Super Bowl party planned? Tell us what your day was leading up to the game.
We just started out this morning. My niece had a Christmas parade, so we were just trying to chill out before the game. I was a little bit nervous after the first game, so just wanted to try and relax a little bit until we got started this afternoon.
Let's go back and relive this ball game. It was a totally different ball game than the first time around. What is it that you saw that was different this time around versus the first time around?
Our defense really stepped up. I'm sure, studied a lot of film of Auburn and Alabama and Auburn and Georgia, and they knew exactly what to expect, and they were in all the right places.
Well, one of the things that I noticed is that we saw a totally different offensive game plan with Fromm. What did you see this game different with Fromm than you did throughout the season? And do you think it was a game plan situation, or do you think it was Fromm? I actually saw him make a good little run there, and he's not much of a runner.
He's run good a few times this year. Actually, if he can get out of the pocket, he's made a few good runs. But mainly the throwing. He threw more and better than I think I've seen him all season. I think he had 4 incompletions. Remembering that off the top of my head, it was 3 or 4. And he was really getting them balls right on target.
Well, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. I tell you what, Georgia's defense really showed up in this game. And what a ball game by Roquan Smith. I tell you what, I think I heard he had 2 fumble recoveries and a gazillion tackles, and he was all over the field. As a Tennessee Vol fan, I had to say I really enjoyed him playing well because that just increases his stock to go early in the draft and leave a year sooner, and we don't have to face him next year. But got to tell the viewers out there what Roquan Smith has meant to your team.
Roquan is definitely one of our best players on defense. He's always got his eyes on the ball, his eyes on the quarterback or the running back, and he knows what's coming, and we are definitely going to miss him.
I tell you what, another aspect that I saw is Georgia has always been known as running back you. You had Chubb going into second place behind the great Herschel Walker, and I heard he was at the game and really pulling for his Georgia Bulldogs. And I remember Herschel when I was in high school. That kind of tells you how old I am, but Herschel Walker was the greatest running back in the history of college football, period. But talk to us about what Chubb has meant to the team and what kind of game you thought he had.
Oh, man, Nick Chubb had a great game today. He's from my hometown, Cedartown, Georgia, and just proud as hell of him. He's a great Bulldog. That's a damn good dog.
Well, let's also talk about the other running backs that Georgia has. I tell you what, there needs to be something in the collegiate level, kind of like a salary cap, but I would call it a star cap. Y'all just have way too many 5-star running backs, and I don't think it's fair. Do you feel just a little bit guilty you have so many great stud running backs at Georgia?
We're Georgia. We're supposed to have a lot of running backs. We got Swift, Michelle, Holyfield. Now, Michelle did go down. I'm not sure how Michelle's knee is. We were kind of a little worried about him a little after halftime when he went down, but he didn't come back in the game. we'll have to see how that goes.
Well, what do you think about Fromm and his difference this time around and with this game compared to the previous games? And what did you see out of him that was different? Do you think it was the coaches letting him go, or do you think he just took the team on his back? Because what I listened to on the radio, he played a hell of a ball game.
He did. He really did. I think the coaches let him air it out a little bit more, and maybe he got a little more reps practice airing it out to give him a little bit more confidence. But he's a hell of a quarterback. I don't know I didn't expect. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody expected Fromm this season with Eason, but we couldn't ask for anything better.
And that's another position y'all are stacked at is quarterback. The quarterback position at Georgia, it's almost unfair. You got Fields coming in. You've got all these quarterbacks that I think are going to end up transferring. I tell you what, Georgia and Kirby Smart has done one heck of a job with recruiting. And I see Georgia not really looking back, and they are on the rise. Well, let's talk about your feelings now after the game. I can only imagine that it's a lot better feeling now than it was when you played Alabama in 2012. Tell the viewers how you're actually feeling right now. I mean, kind of go through your emotions at this point. What are you feeling?
Oh, ecstatic. I'm excited. So much better than 2012. 2012, we really sort of controlled that ball game. I thought we did everything to win it, but, you know, it is what it is. It was good to get a little bit of redemption and bring the championship back to the East after 9 years.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm no Georgia fan, but I sure was pulling for Georgia. They really represented the East, and I am super proud of you guys, how y'all pulled it off. And, you know, the East has kind of been the laughing stock of the SEC, but the East is now – the champions of the Southeastern Conference. And let's move forward into the playoffs. What are you looking forward to? What do you think the scenario is, who your next opponent is going to be?
I think we're going to be playing Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl, which will be pretty cool. We haven't been to the Rose Bowl since I think 46 or 47. And that'll be just a good matchup. I don't think Oklahoma really has the defense to stop us, but they do have that Heisman quality quarterback, so it might be a shootout. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
You said you saw that video I had with that Clemson fan with the SEC versus the ACC. Kind of tell everybody, all the ACC fans out there, why Pigskin Pete was way off in his analysis on the SEC not being dominant anymore.
Oh, the SEC is the toughest conference in the country. Nobody can compare. I mean, the weakest school in the SEC can beat up on any team from the ACC that they want to. Now, Florida against Florida State, we'll give them a pass on that one because Florida was junkyard garbage this year, and they didn't even have a coach. So they still made Florida State's coach leave without even beating them. So what can we say?
Well, Perfection Valley, I'm sure glad you were on the show with us. I really enjoy having fans of all the SEC teams on my show, and it sure has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it, and I tell you what, I love your show. Been watching you since about the beginning, and go Dogs.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. We're going 15-0, I promise you that. Hello there, SEC fans. Catfish here. I'd like to tell y'all about an opportunity I have for y'all to help old Catfish raise some money for the worthy cause. I'm going to be putting some packages together for the homeless that I see out here on the exit ramps and at truck stops. And in these packages, we're going to have some necessities, bottled water, toiletries, and snacks. And I'm going to be giving them out as I see these people that are down and out for whatever reason. And many of these are veterans that have served our country proudly, and they've been forgotten. So Christmas is right around the corner. You can help me by ordering an SEC Tiki Totem, and they'd make a great gift for the SEC fan and your family. They're a great value at $34.95, including shipping. So order yours today. All you have to do is send me an email at volunteerroadshow@gmail, and I'll send you an invoice through PayPal where you can use their secure payment processing using your major credit card or check. So thank you for helping Old Catfish out, and if you get your order in soon, it might just make it there by Christmas.